And last but not least, we have Mike Hannigan that will be talking about the education and outreach team.
I'm Mike Hannigan. So my team is big and it's all here today. So we have a lot of partners too. Before I start with team names, CU Office of Education Outreach, Outreach and Engagement. Linda's here and Hannah's here from that office. They've been great key partners. And so we're going to talk today about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And that goes into kind of some of the partnerships, but also want to mention Katja is obviously here. And so is Kira, Maddie, Joanna, and Ashley. And so the key is that we're really trying to focus, on education outreach duties on education curriculum development. And that is really, with all the teachers here in the room working with Lisa, that's a key piece to our curriculum development. We've since realized that it's important to not only build curriculum, but also to build relationships. So our outreach has shifted in the past year from kind of us talking to trying to build relationships with community groups that allow us to then take messages in different places. And so we also have an assessment team, Daniel in the back, who's working on this. And this idea of mingling education and outreach came from a project that Linda's office funded on North Fork Valley. The North Fork Valley is a rural and agricultural area in Colorado, and they came. A group, the Western Slope Conservation Center, came to the Office of Outreach and asked if they had some researchers who could come help them think about baseline air quality in their region. In the region is already an energy development region. There's been coal mines that have been good partners for the community for 20 years, and these coal mines are something that isn't thought of as a big environmental disturbance by most people in the valley. But there's some ideas that in the north side of the valley that there's going to be some new oil and gas development happening. It's the other side of the Piceance Basin, kind of the border of the Piceance Basin. And so there was some concern, so they said, let's have some people go in there and measure air quality. So we said, oh sure, Linda, we'll do it. And so Ashley went out, put a bunch of our air quality pods spatially along the bottom of the basin to try to look at airflow. We thought this was really interesting. We started to engage with students to help us monitor. And quickly we realized that the baseline air quality was really interesting, but the education stuff was really fun and actually even more enjoyable. You can see we have students, our students were teaching with their students. We found the classrooms really engaging. My students love going to the classrooms. We had students there doing science projects as well. So this is a group of students who decided they would use the pods for their science fair. They studied biodiesel versus regular diesel. They went to the regional science fair, then got to go to the state science fair. They were C students, and they got honorable mention in the state science fair, which is really cool. All the students groups then did their own research projects, got to give presentations. Some of us actually went down, a lot of us here, when the outreach team went down to North Fork Valley to see posters and have students present to us. That output, having to make these students have an output and talk about their science, was really engaging and fun. We learned a ton, and the students hopefully learned a ton too, which was the key part to this. And so that process we realized we can really link education and outreach more than we thought we have. It's complicated though, because you also have to engage the community at some point, and so we did have some issues with the coal mine, thinking we were doing something wrong. But Ashley did a great job of talking to county commissioners and explaining, well, we're there for education, and that helped open doors. So community engagement's important, and that's why we're hoping to work more with the community groups here to think about how you work with the community to build relationships. You guys are in the communities, you know the pitfalls, so it's great for us to help you through education. And so that's important for us. We continue to hope to build more relationships through these community engagement projects. And you can see that we wanted to keep this idea of the North Fork Valley project moving with more community engagement projects where we're sharing knowledge and resources and hopefully mutually benefit. And then our long-term vision really is to kind of take the low-cost tools and then use them like the North Fork Valley project, link with the community grants that are here and the teachers that are here, and then hopefully have a long-term system of education that is self-sustaining, where there's a user community that talks to each other about the issues. And that'll allow us to also think in terms of oil and gas development, which is complicated research about energy development. and how we can make sure that communities are engaged both in asking the questions and answering the questions as part of that research project. And so that was 20 slides.